Yeah.
Welcome everyone, I am 3D here and welcome to my mix-up video series for Monster Hunter World. Today we'll be focusing on an odd and controversial playstyle build for the Charge Blade that goes completely against the core design of the weapon, but still plays the same way you're expected to, which many of you should be familiar with, but may argue is wrong to just use all the time. Today I'll be presenting my Axe Form Charge Blade mix sets. So the idea behind the build is to use your Charge Blade, preferably a non-elemental one, for more raw damage against any monster you face, and not use your built-up files to do any sort of discharge damage to the monster. So just the Axe mode for the duration of the fight, so no sword and shield or elemental discharge, just the Axe. Now this is a controversial set that I recommend you only play with for fun, as this does go against the core design of the Charge Blades, and although the playstyle is widely expected for elemental Charge Blades because of their weak elemental discharge, and have better control if the Axe form did the most damage with discharge instead, for non-elemental ones, this is considered a no-go for the simple fact of wasting big damage potential you can get, as skills such as artillery and capacity boost your damage even further than what elemental Charge Blade can achieve. But if you're like me and like experimenting, then this is an interesting mix set to try out and just see how well it plays without its main core design being fully used all the time, as it can yield you results for a new type of speedrun for players to push themselves even further by using just one playstyle instead of using the multitude of playstyles given to you. So moving on, as we're not using any sort of elemental discharge on my end, this means skills such as capacity boost or artillery will have no use for the set this time round. Instead, just like the Blade Master set, you want the common skills to use, such as critical eye, weakness exploit, maximum might, health boost, attack up, agitator, etc. These will be the main bread and butter for the set, although alternatively extra status afflicting skills like sleep, poison or paralysis can help with stalling a monster enough for you to do extra damage. Also note, when using the Axe form you do put yourself at a disadvantage because of the slowness added onto you when it's active. So for the extra bit of damage, your mobility is hampered as well, just as if you were using the amped up form of the Switch Axe. So I advise you to add in the evade extender at 2 or 3 to help extend your dodging distance to at least give you a bit of extra mobility. It may help, it may not, but it's entirely up to you. So here's the mix set. We have Critical Eye 6, which offers 20% affinity, Earplugs 5, which provides immunity to monsters' roar, Critical Boost 3, which increases our critical damage the higher affinity is, Weakness Exploit 3 for plus 50% affinity upon monsters' weak points, Attack Boost 3 for increased damage, which to be honest can be swapped for something else, as you have all the damaging buff and skills that overshadow it. Speed Sharpening 1, which allows us to skip the sharpening phase, and Tool Specialist 1, which is part of the Emperor's chest piece and nothing of worthwhile. Overall, this will provide you with 673 attack, which comes to 187 true raw, including Power Charm and Talon, 105% affinity, which can be lowered if you want more universal skills and others, and max damage, and an overall fantastic axe-based build, which will give you a big juicy damage upon each varying hit, although can be mix and match to your own pleasure for more damage or more survival skills or a bit of both. I am also using the OGM charge blade to pull this off, as its stats are very well balanced across the bridge with white sharpness throughout the package and 20% free affinity. Attack and true raw isn't a lot, coming out at 576 and 160 true raw, which although affinity and sharpness multiplier can help with boosting the damage, it won't be enough to out damage something like the Diablo's charge blade with its 828 attack and 230 true raw. You can honestly use any charge blade you like for this build, as I'm simply using this build, or so I say the weapon, simply for its main design, flexible stats, and just to see how well it performs since I've never used this weapon before. But if you want bigger damage, there are other better versions. So of course, this is practically as far as the build needs to be in terms of creating a axe focused mix set, which, surprise surprise, hits hard in all the right places, even if it is a controversial to many. Now, it doesn't offer the survivability skills like the stun resistant or health boost, etc, as I want to focus on adding as much damage for each of my swings as I can. Of course, you can make room for survivor skills by getting rid of the current charm and placing the skill you so desire, as attack boost is great, but the damage it provides over affinity skills is less than needed. For this build, not only will you be swinging a very huge axe for large damage, you'll also be doing a consistent damage throughout each encounter, as I have also added in on earplugs, which will allow you to swing to your heart's content. My damage varies upon each monster, with normal wide swings hitting around 20 low and around 50 high, depending on the monster's area you hit, while my large upswings will be more consistent in the 70 plus to 100 plus ranges, something you're going to be relying on for the majority of your fights. And then lastly, the full discharge moveset, which remember we won't be discharging at all, but use the move for a large downward swing, which can hit around 100 plus to 200 plus, if you get lucky on some monster's hits, and if you hit a major weak point. However, all this damage comes with a cost, and that is the slow speed you have when axe form, as you won't be switching back to your sword and shield every now and then. You also have to remember that you can't use your shield because it's axe focused build, and you may also get the sudden urge at times to build your files up and then use them to discharge on the monster to build up even more damage. Now, you can of course use it, but it would defeat the purpose of the controversial set. Like I mentioned before, you can go around fixing the slow speed by having an evade extender, preferably at level 2, to help increase your rolling speed to be further, so you can cover ground a lot more quicker, rather than put your weapon away all the time. Putting your weapon away is also a choice, but can be tedious at times, unless you're going to be going to one area to another. And now of course lastly, although I've explained what the build is like and what it's capable of, you may get the urge to build around those files as well, which is perfectly fine, like I mentioned before, as long as you use your axe to do the main damage. So no full discharging, but if you want to, you can still use the axe form and still discharge, but it's entirely up to you because it's set it for you to just mess around with. If you do go with the discharging, it will give you more damage, but you're not really fully using the set as I designed it to be. I know what using the axe form built files are like and how it fits much better for the weapon, as you're using all of it rather than some of it, but I would like to see more variety for play when it comes down to experimenting and playing the same playstyle over and over again, as it can get tediously boring at times. Besides, who would have thought mainly a giant axe against a Elder Dragon could look so badass at times? So that comes to the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the content, then do leave a like, a sub, and also do press the bell button to stay always updated to when I upload, as I would appreciate a lot if you do. But like always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.